live for February 4th. Is it February already? February 4th, 2024. Um, and we got the sports stars along with my co-host, Mr. Ken Coslow, Big E DeBarber, Elliot Lamba, Mr. Wayne Lynch, and of course, as always, Mr. John G. Olson.
I hereby bring this meeting of the Sports Nerds Taylor Swift fan club to order.
I'm a Swiftie. I'll go with it. Whatever it is,
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
Swiftly move on from that subject.
Yeah. Swiftwater Rescue. Hi, Anthony.
Oh, by the way, breaking news: Detroit Lions championship shirts have arrived in Malaysia as of today.
There you go.
Oh, worst. Poor Detroit. Poor Detroit.
Poor Detroit.
So
they
close.
made it to the championship game. I mean, it's not like if you're saying poor Detroit, then what adjective are we going to use for Cleveland and Buffalo and Dallas? Detroit made it to the championship game.
I'm used to this though. Like again,
right?
Buffalo not making it is like
it's like a written rule.
It's a written rule. It's the unwritten rules of the road.
Right. So we got our Super Bowl. It's the Niners and the Chiefs. So it's a rematch of a few years ago.
4 years
Anthony
ago.
says, "Congrats on your new job, John." Hi, Anthony. How you doing? But I don't know, man. This feels different. I mean, last time these two teams played, Kansas City won. I mean, it was close, but I have a feeling that the Niners are going to have more for the Chiefs this time.
I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
For this Super Bowl for the 49ers. Abscond, or should I say, kidnap Kyle Shanahan for the fourth quarter.
Oh, I agree 100%.
Stick him in a locker somewhere and keep him away from the playbooks. The play cards, play sheets.
In the fourth quarter, yes. In the fourth quarter, you're right.
In the fourth quarter.
It only
Atlanta
works
fans
if
know
you're
what
behind.
I'm talking about.
If they're ahead, yeah, put him somewhere else. If they're behind, then that's when he seems to do his best work.
He has a problem with
until the last 2 weeks. He hadn't done shit in that case.
Well, I'm going on recency bias.
As long as he's not there for the fourth quarter while we're ahead.
Wasn't he the offensive coordinator for the Falcons?
Yes,
when they were up
that's what I
Yes.
just said. Atlanta fans
Yep.
know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And they went in the toilet in the second half.
And the new Commanders coach was the head coach, whose team actually got blasted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of, what do you think of that hire?
What are you saying, John?
Dan Quinn to the Commanders.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Commanders they still don't get it.
Which means Mike Vrabel and Bill Belichick don't have a job for 2025 or 2024.
Nope.
No, they don't. Not a coaching job, anyway.
What's on your mind, John?
John, you got something to say.
Oh, I got something to say for the most overhyped quarterback in the history of quarterbacks. Apparently, the Chargers have now are going to hire Greg Roman as their offensive coordinator. Let me tell you about Greg Roman. Actually, I don't even need to tell you about Greg Roman. Just go look what he did with the Ravens. That's all you got to see. If you want to really get a look at Greg Roman, go look what he did with the Bills.
Not much.
So good luck to you, Chargers.
Not much.
Fun.
So who the morons that hired Arthur Smith as their offensive coordinator?
Oh yes, the Steelers.
The Steelers, which is actually very positive for me. Thank you very much, Steelers.
This is the coaching carousel that is the NFL. It's like I applaud the Bills. Sorry, Elliot. I know we're not allowed to speak good of the team that can't even make it to the championship finals. I get it.
Hey, look, if I didn't have the 49ers at stake, I'd root for the Bills.
Well, the Browns got Dorsey, John, so you can.
Yeah, that's another one.
I don't hate Dorsey. Like, and the Bills fans don't really hate Dorsey. They just thought he was just a little over his head. But Dorsey will be fine. He'll be fine there. I applaud the Bills for they hired a brand new offensive coordinator. It was just the rehire of Joe Brady, but he's fresh young blood. And then they got Bobby Babich as the defensive coordinator.
And he filled in for Frazier, right?
Yeah, Frazier went to, where'd he go? Over to Vegas or I don't even. He's on the Seattle. He went to Seattle.
Seattle.
With Mike McDonough.
But I love it, man. I love that the Bills went with young talent instead of the coaching carousel that is the NFL. Right. Greg Roman, I'm sorry, man. He hasn't done any. Arthur Smith, guys, does not deserve another offensive coordinator position. Maybe he figured. I don't know.
I guess the NFL's in the retreads.
Literally.
Arthur Smith had Bijan Robinson as a running back
and did not use him.
Didn't use him.
Atlanta. So
misused him.
Yeah.
Didn't use him.
You have to use him before you can misuse him.
Yeah, you have to use before you can misuse.
Forget about Kyle Pitts too. Remember, Kyle Pitts was probably the greatest thing ever.
Pitts has just been just that. Pitts.
Yeah. Pitts is one of the best tight ends in the NFL, and they're not using him right either.
Mm-mm.
So good luck, Pittsburgh.
And on top of all that,
ton of talent.
They haven't exactly had a credible quarterback either. So
and they still don't. To be honest, they still don't. But
I bet you they wind up getting somebody like Justin Fields down there. If the Bears take Will, then Fields is going to Atlanta.
How you doing, Tim? Good to see you, bud.
Caleb goes to Chicago. Fields is going to Atlanta.
Justin Fields? You really think so?
Mm-hmm. They're not going to keep both of them.
That'd be interesting. Very interesting.
Do you think Chicago will pick a quarterback in the draft?
I think they will.
You really will?
Caleb Williams.
I think they'll take Caleb Williams and then trade Fields to get a bunch of draft picks or whatever, because they're going to have to pay Fields, and they're not going to want to pay two quarterbacks like that. No. You know what I'm saying?
So you're thinking that Chicago has given up on the Justin Fields project?
Well,
they're going to go after another
they
rookie.
Might go after Caleb Williams, but the thing is that Caleb Williams has already been tabbed as the quarterback coming out of the draft.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
The only way I can see that changing is if they flip-flop with the Commanders.
Well, if they flip-flop with the Commanders, then the Commanders are going to get Drake May.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Caleb Williams will fall right to Chicago.
Anyway.
What, Commanders have the second pick?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who has the third pick?
Good question.
New England?
I think so. Yeah. No.
I'm not sure.
Do we have the draft order? We got.
It's ordered. It's in somewhere, but.
Oh, hang on.
It's exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you.
Love Boat, really, John?
Yeah, man. Don't disrespect the Love Boat, man. Soon we'll be making another run.
I love Love Boat. So yeah, I'm with you there. I grew up on that shit.
Okay, Bears 1, Commanders 2, Patriots 3, Arizona 4, and the Chargers are 5th.
Okay, if Chicago keeps the first pick, Caleb Williams, they'll make a trade with whomever. Number 2, Drake May to the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, New England. If Drake May doesn't go to the Commanders, it'll be Jaden. What's his last name?
Jaden
McDaniels to the Commanders. And then
Daniels.
McDaniels or Daniels?
No, just Daniels.
Just Daniels. He'll go to the Commanders second, and then Drake May.
One of those guys is going to wind up with the Patriots. Because the Patriots ain't doing Mac Jones again. Let's put it that way.
No.
Macaroni Jones.
Well, especially since Belichick's gone. The new regime is going to start. Is going to start from fresh.
Right. So New England's either going to get Williams, Drake May, or Daniels.
It'll probably be Drake May. I think Washington will take Daniels.
If they're still at 2?
Well, Washington is at 2.
Washington is at 2, right?
Yeah, Washington.
But if they move up to number 1, I think they take Caleb Williams, to be honest with you. If they move up the pick and drop Chicago down to 2.
I still think
then at that point, if I was Chicago at number 2, I would take Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Chicago doesn't take Caleb Williams and they trade with the Redskins, the Commanders. The Commanders. I can foresee Chicago taking Marvin Harrison Jr.
at 2.
To
put on the other side of
their quarterback, because I think Justin Fields, they believe in him and they will keep him on the roster.
Yeah, well,
the only reason they would keep him is because they kept Eberflus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was a mistake, I think, for them anyway. So
either way, I think Chicago doesn't go quarterback. I think they're going to stick with Justin Fields, and I think they're going to go after Marvin Harrison.
Then they should trade that pick if they're not going to take a quarterback.
Yeah, well, Marvin Harrison Jr. is professional already. Marvin Harrison Jr. is pro ready. He could have gone out. He could have come out last year, and still been a high producing wide receiver in whatever offense it is.
If the first 3 teams go with quarterbacks, then Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to wind up in Arizona.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, Brett says that Fields isn't the problem. I tend to agree with him. I don't think Fields is the problem at all in Chicago. I really don't think he is.
But are you ready to pay him $200 million?
No.
Exactly.
No.
That's what it is. This not about
what is this?
Giving up. This is about economics.
Is it? What is it? You're gonna be year 3 for him? Is that right?
Yeah, his rookie contract is up.
Well, his rookie contract is for 4 years, and he won't make. He's gonna give another season.
It's over after this season.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna pass up an opportunity
if they don't pick up the 5th year?
Like Caleb.
Right.
And what if Fields turns out to be the bust? Turns out that he was not the guy.
I don't think he's a bust. I really don't.
And he's not a bust. You may think this is their finances by drafting.
You may think this is the Ohio State fan saying this.
Of course it is.
But I saw a lot of growth in Fields this past season. I saw a lot of it. So
and they still sucked.
In the second half of the season, yeah, I'll agree with you.
And they still sucked.
Well, they have no offensive line either.
That's the problem. They have no protection for Fields. They really don't have any offensive line.
You have to be able to block for him.
I mean, who were their receivers this season? I mean, it was
Moore.
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
That's it. Stop right there.
That's it.
So
that was their offense.
Yeah, Darnell
Mooney.
Also
had
Komet, right?
Darnell Mooney. Oh, Cole Komet probably.
Komet.
I got him in there. Okay, Komet's a baller. But really, Mooney? Darnell Mooney? No.
Hey, dude, look, I drafted Moore, and he had a pretty decent season. I think he's a very solid.
Well, you know what, then why doesn't Chicago just draft Marvin Harrison Jr. with the first
That's
pick?
what I'm saying. Like, if you get someone like Marvin Harris Jr.
to go on the other side of Moore?
Right. Now you got an offense. But then that what Wayne said, you don't have an offensive line. So what's the point of even getting these wide receivers if you don't have any time to throw to them?
Very good. Very good.
Which is why
Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay, so let's get back to it, which is why I said the Bears should trade the pick for draft capital and possibly somebody on the offensive line.
Well, they have 2 picks in the top 15, right? Or is it even in the top 10? They have 2 picks.
Look, if they traded away their pick, they could get probably
I know it's
at
15,
least 2 or 3.
Could be 10.
They can trade down and build that offensive line for whomever is the quarterback. And if it's going to be Justin Fields, because that's what he needs.
I think he needs another receiver more than he needs, because he can improvise. You know what I'm saying? Justin Fields is improvisational. Okay.
Well, that's what he's been doing the last 2 years anyway.
But he ain't got nobody to throw to. That's the problem. He's got to run for it.
I think Fields has almost as much talent as C.J. Stroud does. He just has a bad team up behind him, and he can't do anything with it.
I don't know about that.
Well,
look
at the weapons that developed in Houston compared to the weapons that were in Chicago, there was none. You know,
Well,
like,
yeah,
did
you
you know
actually use
Tank
that
Dell
word.
was going to be good?
Use the word weapons.
I knew
before.
Nico Collins
Weapon?
would be. I knew Nico Collins would
Weapons, exactly. It's plural, right?
No. Weapon. DJ Moore. That's
Oh
it.
no. I mean, Houston had weapons. Like Houston just had more than one option. Like,
so yeah, they had
Thanks, Brett.
Dell, they had Tank Dell, they had Nico Collins, they had Dalton Schultz,
even Devin Singletary.
Singletary pumped it up in the second half of the season.
And it's like you have options.
Yeah.
So, like
You
you said, Wayne. It's like
you were right, Wayne. Bears have 1 and 9.
1 and 9.
1 and 9.
Well, there you go. So
what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a quarterback or a receiver for the first pick, and then go watch the offensive line with the ninth.
Go OL with the ninth.
Yeah.
Trade the number 1 pick, drop down to number 2, and grab another late first round pick to go with that first round, the number 1 pick that you traded.
Yep.
Now you can get 2 offensive linemen.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? In the first round.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting leading up to that.
The draft is going to be really weird this year. It's going to be fucking amazing. I know John lives for the draft season.
Language, man. Sheesh. My virgin years, man.
Oh, whatever, John. You've said worse. But I think
you'll feel really guilty when I tell you what my new job is.
I'm not going to feel guilty at all because I don't, even though I don't have no idea what your job is, I really don't care.
You shaking the finger? This is the holier than thou finger.
Yeah, okay.
You're going to be a preacher? Is that what you're going to be?
Yeah. Kendra Myers in the house.
Preacher John?
My niece.
Hello, niece.
And Linda she says Linda is watching you as well. So.
Right?
Hey, I thought you changed your name because I seen your brother's picture and I'm like, that looks like Wayne.
Dude, like, I'm telling you, Wayne has done more for this show's audience than we have collectively in 10 years of doing this.
Absolutely.
That way you're not pointing me out single.
Oh, I'm going to say all of us. I mean,
okay,
I try,
you.
but anyways, yeah.
Brett says, have we seen the last of T. Higgins and Cincy? Yes, I do believe we have.
I believe so.
Deshaun Watson is verbally and openly recruiting T. Higgins to come to Cleveland. So
but here's the thing, man. Here's the thing with T. Higgins. He's a number 2.
He is a number 2.
And a lot of the problem is that when he's the number 2, he doesn't play well. You notice that his big games this year were when Chase was out of the lineup.
Chase was injured? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, to me, T. Higgins is a potential bust when it comes to that. Because you know what? They're going to forego Amari Cooper to make him the number 1 wide receiver?
No.
Probably not.
No.
I don't think so.
And with the way Njoku played this year, they're doing good at the tight end.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know.
This upcoming season is all about Deshaun Watson, if he can stay healthy and be back to where he was. That's my
I hold no hope for Deshaun Watson.
Neither do I, Elliot, to be honest. I have no hope whatsoever.
Cleveland should be trading up to get a quarterback.
Well, they don't have a first round pick. So.
But then they don't know how to draft quarterbacks anyway. So
right, but they don't have a first round pick, and because of the trade in Houston.
Yeah, they used all those. Yeah.
So
I have a question going back to last week's game regarding Detroit and the 49ers.
Yeah.
Give it.
What was the purpose of having Zach Ertz on your team if you were not going to play him?
Because they were wanting to play him in the Super Bowl.
Buffalo.
You have to get there before.
Exactly.
The stupidest move. I mean, granted, I'm glad. I mean, the 49ers won, as you can see, with my hat and my background.
Right.
But it makes no sense to me. Absolutely none whatsoever.
I mean, Zach Ertz, his days are numbered in the NFL to begin with.
I mean, the Ravens, when they got Dalvin Cook, he probably would have did better than the guys that were playing with him to begin with.
But the Ravens didn't use their running game. They spent too much time passing the ball.
The Ravens tried to prove that they could win with Lamar Jackson in the pocket, and they got proven absolutely wrong.
I mean, the Ravens had a really strong running game all season long.
Dude, they led the league in rushing. They led the league in rushing.
Well, yeah, and Kansas City is weak against the rush. So why aren't you rushing the fucking football?
Not only that, but they were playing nickel and dime with either five or six defensive backs.
Yes.
Small guys. Okay. You're supposed to be pounding. Come on.
Pound the rock.
Edwards got 15 yards on his first carry, 10 on his second carry.
And they didn't use him the rest of the game.
They didn't use him the rest of the game. They had 10 total rushes that game, if you count Lamar Jackson.
6 by the running backs and 4 by Lamar.
Yeah.
That's just
so
stupid.
the number one running team in the NFL.
All I ask is, please, God, let the Chiefs put 6 DBs on the field.
And give it to Christian, baby. Let him run the rock,
let
baby.
Him run them up. Please, God, let that happen.
Yep. All right. We're half an hour in. John, what's
half an hour in?
Half an hour? I'll look at 20 minutes.
Third of an hour.
All right, 20 minutes. What's your news,
21 minutes.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Mr. Olson, you have the floor.
Oh, I'm as you guys know, hello, Facebook user.
That is Hanquita Lynch Norwood.
That is my sister.
More people that Wayne knows who bring to the show.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yes, I know.
He's doing very good at this, which we all should have done. I suck. I'm the first one to admit it.
Hey, I'm in charge of the technical stuff, man.
All right, Mr. Olson. What's the big reveal? Go ahead.
Well, no, you know, like, I mean, you know, Scott, and even Ken and Elliot. I mean, over the past 6 years, I've gone through quite an adventure from having this, you know, amazing, profitable online business to complete destruction, losing my house, moving from place to place to place, trying to figure out what's going on.
Right.
You know, and then fast forward, you know, I got into this trucking thing, and you know, just an absolute disaster. That was just the worst experience
and the
ever.
Reboot of CTP didn't help it either. So go ahead.
Yeah, and just, you know, I just whatever. But I've been stressed out, man. Like level 10, and I don't really share that with people. I don't put it out on social media, but like the stress level has been through the roof, like another level. Like, you know, you got two young boys, you know, 6 and 4. You know, you just got married like 8 years ago. Which is not just, you know, but you know, relatively.
And she's not working either, so it's even.
And it's just it's been rough, man. It's been like going through the gauntlet,
right?
And I just, you know, I mean, you guys know, you know, I mean, Ken is very familiar with it, but I'm on a Christian walk. I'm faith. I was baptized Christian, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. Literally, it's literally when my life started going downhill. It's like the devil was playing with me. And a little bit of a testimony here now too. Look, we're going to church, Scott.
I know.
You're ready.
Go ahead, John.
Go right ahead.
He's on a walk of Emmaus.
I will never persecute you over your beliefs, John. Don't get me wrong.
And no one should.
They have some
anyway.
music to play.
Well, yeah. But yeah, so I literally got baptized, and I've just been, you know, constantly just praying, like, you know, Lord, show me the way, show me the way, show me the way. And sometimes you hear nothing, you know, you keep going. You don't have an option. You just keep going, you keep going. And then you hear it. You hear like, oh, you know, like, keep the faith. And you're just hearing this. You're like, oh my goodness. Like, you know, keep the faith. Oh, okay. Sure. You know, you don't want to grieve the Holy Spirit. You obviously want to keep focusing on God. And whatever providential, like it just happened, fell in my lap where I'm going to be working for my church starting tomorrow.
Wow.
And
Excellent.
It includes, sit down for this, Scott, you'll get a kick out of this, driving a truck.
Whoa.
Selling books and Bibles.
Mm-hmm.
And basically in a little ministry of the publishing ministry and helping spread the word and going from province to province in Western Canada, setting up shop, selling books, selling, you know,
so
Bibles.
The Lord.
That's it.
And is this a salary position, John?
Yep. It's
Congratulations.
full benefits out and like,
good job, man. Congratulations.
dude, I don't deserve this.
Excellent.
Like this is
Yes, you do.
You mean after all the shit you put up with?
Yes, you do.
After all the shit you put up with, you don't think you deserve that? Come on,
dude. It's not for me, man. This is the and I said it today on Facebook. It's God be the glory, man. I mean, I kept the faith, and even though I wavered, it was just like it works, and this is I'm throwing it out there for people. I know it's a sports show. I know, Scott, you don't like talking about this stuff, but
John, let me explain something to you, John.
Yeah.
In my youth, in my 20s, I was introduced to a gentleman who moved me towards the Christian faith. I grew up in a Methodist church when I was a kid.
As did I.
And I have been up until about 20 years ago, I had been a Methodist, but I have been through enough crap after that to have a very stigmatic feeling and opinion of Christianity, because there's so many people out there that are abusing being Christian. Okay, evangelicals number one.
Joel Osteen.
Okay.
I heard that, Elliot.
And so I have a very stigmatic opinion of Christianity, because I still think that people use it for the wrong reasons and for their financial benefit. Okay.
Well, they target the poor,
like Jim Baker. Jim Baker is one.
You mean Jim and Tammy Faye?
Yes, Jim and Tammy Faye. Joel Osteen.
I just said that.
I hear you. And
so
keep going. Sorry. Keep going.
So my opinion, and I appreciate you bringing this up, John, because I don't think I've ever really explained to me exactly what I feel, how I feel, and what I've gone through. Because of the fact that the person that that drove me to Christianity, to specifically to, talking in tongues and all that crap, turned out to be a bad person overall as well. Okay. My mother to this day goes to church. She was Lutheran up until she moved out of Palm Bay. She has since joined and sings in the choir of a Methodist church. At 79 years old, she's going to be 80 this year. Holy shit! But it has created in me a lack of faith, a lack of respect for the Christian religion. Okay, I mean, I was an altar boy in the Methodist church.
I was an altar boy in the Catholic church.
An acolyte. Okay. Because I would, I'd be the one that lights the candle. That's what an acolyte does. When I was a kid.
Let me break in just a second. I've been an acolyte more as an adult than I ever was as a kid.
Man.
So it would take a lot of motivation, a lot of talking to get me to go back to that route, John. Okay,
absolutely.
Because I have a very, very hard stigma of what the Christian religion has become in this country.
Yeah.
Okay. I have been led astray. I have been poisoned, and I have no faith in organized religion whatsoever. So that's where I stand. Okay. I respect you for what you're doing. If that is what drives you, so be it. I'm not going to criticize you for that, okay? But me, it's not for me.
You've been dinged by it enough times to.
I have.
Not put your hand over that flame anymore.
Correct.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, look, I stopped believing in going. I used to go to church every week as a kid, altar boy, got into all that stuff and whatnot. But as I started getting older, I started realizing how hypocritical people are. Most people are
very hypocritical. The Christian religion is one of the most hypocritical
religions. They will go
in the world.
They will go confess their sins on a Saturday, pray and rejoice on Sunday, and then Monday through Friday they go out back and do the same fucking shit they
Correct.
did. So it's a bad cycle. And then don't get me started on the. Don't get me started.
Can I just rebuttal something for a second?
Don't get me started on the priests either.
Correct.
Wow. That's a whole other topic, and I won't get into that, but I think whoever Facebook user said it right there is you put your trust in God. You don't put your trust in man.
Exactly. And you know what? Going to church is one thing. You know what? Church can be anywhere. Why? Because God is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I could have church here in my house by myself. Light a candle and be good about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to go. I don't have to go into a nest. I don't have to go rejoice in a nest full of hypocrites in order to get good with God. This is the
thing too, and this is what sucks because like Scott had a bad experience, and this is the thing. I'm not trying to stick up because I hear you. That was my experience too growing up. Like totally, it was just like, oh, this is just ridiculous. But you got to remember that church is filled with fallible men and women. Like we are, all of us
absolutely
fall short of the glory of God. So it's horrible that you've had that experience and you're not alone. Sadly, that's what happens. If someone says Christian, it's like, oh, here we go again. These guys, just like Elliot said, oh, they're going to go to church on the weekend. And guess what? Monday, they're back sinning. They're back pointing the finger.
John, I want to share this. I hold 3 Bibles in my hand, all owned by my grandmother that I was gifted after she passed away. I have yet to read one word out of these books. She passed away in 2005. Mm-hmm. So I have the Holy Bible, a new translation. It's an American translation of the Old Testament and the New Testament. And I know you're a King James. It's a revised, and I have a revised standard version. I know you're a King James guy, so I won't, but
I'm King James, but I'm not King James only, if that makes any sense. Yeah.
So I have Bibles from my grandmother, who spent years at a Lutheran church and years with the Methodist church. So I mean, it is what it is. But I've yet to read anything out of these.
Can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? Can you open one of those for a second? I want to show you something.
Go ahead. Just
open it up. It's like the 3rd or 4th last book of the Bible, 1 John. Just go there quick for me.
While he's flipping pages,
1 John.
Somebody said, it's a personal relationship that you have with God. That you need to be first and foremost secure in yourself and secure in what you believe in, what is right, what is wrong, and go forward from there. I'm not laid out on this conversation, but I wanted to drop that in.
Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. First John chapter 4.
The first epistle of John, is that right?
Right. Yeah. First epistle of John, chapter 4. Ken knows where I'm going.
Yep.
Verse 7 and 8. Just read that. 1 John 4, verses 7 and 8.
As beloved, let us love one another, for love belongs to God, and everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. He who does not love does not know.
God is love.
7 and 8.
Yeah, God is love. Right? Okay. So your experience is horrible. It is awful. But if Christians followed what the Bible says, it just literally says right there, let us love one another, for God is love. So that, to me, is that's the problem. The problem is that we have human beings in church who err, who fall, who sin, who cuss, who swear, who make awful decisions. But just this is what's really important to me, is that I hear that experience. I pray for you, man. And I read this and I say, okay, well, what is God? Well, this is God. God, we love each other. We respect each other.
I love all 4 of you guys. So just be that.
Absolutely, man. You're my brother, man.
I mean, again, I've known Ken and Wayne for over 20 years.
around
Elliot has been my co-host for what, 10 years, Elliot, almost. I mean,
years. Yeah.
and then John, I've known you for 15 years. So, I get that, but who knows? Who would have figured that the sports nerds on February 4th would turn into a Bible study? That's all right.
No,
I got you to open your Bible, man.
Bible study.
Don't consider that it's the Fellowship of Christian Sports Nerds.
There you go. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Not supposed to be Christian athletes.
Oh
Sports
God.
nerds.
Jeez. And we still have 8 viewers, so I'm happy.
It's not. It's like people get weird about it, and I get it. And I you know me, I've never pushed my belief.
I know you haven't, John, and I don't expect you to, because I'm not.
But going forward,
their own choices.
I'll tell you just a few minutes, Brent.
Sorry,
of those 8 viewers, I bet you 3 or 4 of them is my family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and probably all of them, Wayne, to be honest with you, except maybe Brett and Carlos.
Well,
So, but that's all right.
I'm hoping God looks over me for my next venture.
Yeah.
Let's
get back to the topic.
Does anybody want to know what that venture is?
What's that, Elliot?
I just started real estate school.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So I'm hoping.
Let me tell you where I've been. Okay. I've been the head usher of my church, past church. I've been the Sunday school coordinator out of 2 churches. I've been the pastor parish relation head of 1 church. I have been now the current lay leader of my current congregation. I am the president of the East District United Methodist Men and recording secretary of our own group. And I'm coming to church every Sunday and Bible study every Wednesday afternoon, and occasionally twice. I've been to John's thing, and I'll try to keep coming back. But everything you guys have said is all true. It is all true. It is a very personal thing. You cannot be pressed into it. It has to come from your own heart.
Right.
And I'm whatever you decide. I mean, I believe in one word, and that is coexistence. And that means that Christians can all get along, Jews can all get along, we all get along with them, Muslims, anybody else who is in there, atheists, agnostics. I like to get along with everyone. And so it depends on what you have inside your heart. And
exactly.
That's exactly the way that I was brought up, the way I like to live my life, and that is my testimony right there. I mean, it's the way I like to live my life, and thank you very much. But that's from what you've all your testimonies today, each and every one of you. I'm fully supportive of all of you, and I will die on that hill.
Thank you, Ken.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
God
doesn't want mindless people. He wants you to come to him willingly. He's not going to force anything on you.
Nope.
No.
If anyone's forcing, you didn't read what we just read.
If you have to be forced to do something, chances are you won't succeed at it.
Exactly.
Correct.
Plain and simple.
All right, let's get back to sports, guys.
Okay.
You're just getting started. Come on.
Now that we've had our
Catch John on Friday nights.
yes.
Yeah, catch me on Friday nights.
That's right.
What, prayer meeting's over?
Prayer meeting's over.
Let me change the subject.
Time out.
The hallelujah moment is
this is odd for me because I'm not a fan. World Cup is coming to North America and
hold it before we get to that. Let me address
the religion of World Cup. What the hell?
Let me address Brent right quick.
Go ahead.
Yes, I would welcome Mike Zimmer back to Dallas, but I would rather have Ron Rivera there.
Good point. Yeah, I like that too, Ken. Yeah.
No, he's supposed to interview this week. I'm very much hoping that he will join on, and that way we'll have a little bit of continuity in the defense. A little bit
I'm waiting to see what Dan Quinn. I'm waiting to see what Dan Quinn does against Dallas next year.
I'm going to say not much.
I can't wait.
Not much. You're right, Wayne. I believe that myself. I only want to bring up the World Cup because the venues were announced today for 2026. The final, first of all, the opening match is going to be in Mexico City.
Mm-hmm.
And the final was put in New Jersey at FedEx Field. Or not, yes. I'm sorry. MetLife Stadium. Excuse me. You're right. MetLife Stadium.
Do not confuse MetLife with. Do not confuse any stadium with
FedEx Field. I apologize. Right.
Okay? Yeah. That's blasphemy.
Yeah. My question is, of all the stadiums on the docket, including SoFi and AT&T Stadium, the fact they selected MetLife Stadium is amazing to me. What the hell are you doing?
That's in the greater metropolitan area of New York, isn't it?
I know. Yes.
Okay. You don't get more shine pretty much anywhere else.
It's in the greater metropolitan swamp of New York.
Yeah, I was going to say, but MetLife Stadium is almost as much of a dump as FedEx Field is.
Well, no, because their sewage is still intact.
Yeah, it's not flowing through the stadium at all times.
And the fact that they're affected by the New York Jets means nothing. Just because they got gangrene because of the Jets, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean nothing.
I mean, you've got these venues. You got SoFi, you've got AT&T, and both of those stadiums have a roof over it.
So how big of a city compared to New York, New Jersey, the metropolitan area? What other city could stand up to that?
L.A.
Not Dallas.
L.A.
Why not Dallas?
SoFi, absolutely, SoFi.
L.A. could.
Yeah.
L.A. could.
Why not Dallas? Dallas is the third largest metropolitan area in the nation.
When you think about high events like that, global events, Dallas doesn't roll off the tongue the way New York, L.A., places like that.
Basically, New York and L.A. But keep in mind they had the '96 Olympics in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's true.
Atlanta will have one of the semifinal games. Arlington will be one semifinal host, and Atlanta will be the other one.
The 11 stadiums set to host games are home to NFL teams. Giants and Jets, of course. Rams and Chargers, of course. Mm-hmm. Seahawks, Dolphins, Cowboys, Falcons, Patriots, Texans, Chiefs, Eagles, and Niners. Those are the stadiums where, we all know that we're all familiar with those stadiums as far as how the venues are. Okay. I think
you're forgetting two other countries, though, right?
Yeah, Canada and Mexico. Yes, sir. I understand. Montreal and Vancouver are there two venues.
Montreal and Vancouver.
Or is it Toronto?
Toronto and Vancouver.
Probably Toronto.
Toronto and Vancouver. Excuse me.
I'm surprised Montreal didn't get some games.
Well, they were
Toronto and Vancouver,
Edmonton to do it because Edmonton's got this massive beast of a stadium.
Yeah. In Mexico City and Monterey, I believe, are the two.
Canada will play its opening first-round match in Toronto on June 12th.
BMO.
And it's following two games in Vancouver.
It won't be a BMO. They're going to build a stadium, won't they?
I don't think so.
Really?
I think what they think they'll do is they'll expand BMO.
And FIFA has expanded the World Cup from 32 to 48 teams. So you got more teams playing in 2026 than you have playing in
3 host nations.
Right.
3 host nations, and they get the immediate pass.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Matches in Mexico will be played at Estadio BBFA in Monterrey and Estadio Akron in Guadalajara.
Okay, that's right. Guadalajara, too.
Yes.
And Estadio Azteca in Mexico City.
Yes. It says Monterrey, but is that Mexico City, Ken?
No, Monterrey is Monterrey.
Mexico City, Monterrey, and Guadalajara.
In Guadalajara. I've actually been by the stadium, hadn't been to it, but been by the stadium in Guadalajara.
Right. Have you?
Been by it, but hadn't been in it.
Pretty nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. From what I've seen from the outside.
Where Chivas plays.
So what are we going to talk about now? College basketball, college football?
Well, I know John doesn't want to hear this.
I know John and Ken are fans of World Cup. That's why I brought that
how
up.
much World Cup I've ever watched in my life?
Yeah,
you're missing it, dude. You're missing
I've
it.
actually been to a World Cup match.
I'm just not a soccer guy. Sorry.
I watch.
How are they going to watch the World Cup since it's in America?
It's
very
what?
few.
It's
Hey,
not.
the sports in New York City have soccer's not on the top of that list. Okay, football.
It was 40
basketball,
years
baseball.
ago.
I will watch the World Cup. I don't watch like La Liga or UEFA or anything like that, but I will
Or the
watch
Premier League.
World Cup. Premier League.
I think it's great because of the country's like just misery when they like lose and they got to wait 4 years to play again. Like it's life or death for some of these countries, man.
Right.
Like speaking for Canada, we just got to the World Cup. Last World Cup, that was the first time since like 83 or 84.
86,
we were in. 86. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time. Like I think Americans sometimes, no offense, I know Ken understands this, but America really has a good team, and they always seem to show up in the World Cup. And that's a big deal, but for the rest of the world, like generally, America's like.
Well, the U.S. usually gets to the knockout stage, round of 16, and then that's when they do something stupid on the pitch, and then.
That's when they turn into the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, exactly, Ken. Thank you.
Nice reference.
So yes, I do watch the World Cup. I mean, I do know the references, the terminology. I watch. I get frustrated, because I want the U.S. to win. But when they get to the knockout round, they literally do something stupid every time.
They're not America's team for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like newsflash: water is wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
one of these days, our ship will come in, and hopefully we won't be at the airport.
I think that America's team moniker is a curse.
I'll tell you about the America's team name sometime.
In NFL news, Patrick Mahomes Sr.
Oh yeah, I posted that.
Was arrested for DWI in
Did you see the meme I put up?
I did.
Yeah. He said you get arrested too if I had my son and a daughter-in-law, the son and daughter-in-law.
Yeah. So
where was this at?
It's in Tyler.
Oh, in Tyler. Wow.
Yeah.
It's Speed Trap.
Was it? They said, oh, he got his third DUI.
It's his third. Yeah, it is his third. Yes. With the bond being set at $10,000, he was released on bond. It's a third-degree felony and carries a sentence of 10 years in prison if he is convicted.
It's a good thing Patrick Mahomes is good at football because other than that, he's got the most dysfunctional freaking family ever.
Well, no, his dad was good at baseball. He was.
I know that. I used to watch Pat Mahomes pitch in the 70s and shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they're dysfunctional. Jackson, him, Brittany, they're all dysfunctional.
Well,
Bill Belichick took out a full-page ad in the Boston Globe thanking the Patriots fans for the last 24 years. It's amazing to me, guys, that he did not get a coaching job. It just amazes me.
It doesn't amaze me.
I'm not
because look at the coaches that just got hired. What's the average age of the coaches?
Right, they're young guys, right?
Exactly.
36, 38, I believe it is.
Yeah. So it's not a shocker from that perspective. Bill Belichick needs to go into a situation where it's already built and they just need somebody to step in there and make it right.
Like Dallas.
And Dallas, again, if Andy Reid retires, Kansas City would be a perfect landing place for him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think, Bill Belichick is not at the age, and a lot of these teams that have just gotten head coaches, they're pretty much in the rebuilding stages.
Yeah,
and Bill Belichick
is 72 years old.
He'd be a part of a rebuild.
And not only that, but the fact that Belichick is probably going to demand and require full control over picking the groceries as well as serving the groceries.
I wouldn't say that much, but I'm just saying, like I said,
in the past,
he's not going to want to go coach. He's not going to want to go coach on a rebuild project. Plain and simple.
He's about to eat.
Rebuild project wants him either.
He's about to eat an entire humble pie.
He's looking for what I call the John Gruden situation when Gruden went to Tampa. He had a team already in place. He had a great defense already in place, and he just needed to tweak it a little bit to get the Bucs over the hump. That's what Belichick needs, and that can be done in Dallas. Again, Kansas City, if if Andy Reid retires, which I don't think he does. Okay, those are the type of teams he needs to go to in order to get over that hump. I know he wants to beat Shula's record. That's his goal. That's his ultimate desire. Okay, but right now with the teams that are out there, I don't see. I mean, Dallas is like the only team I see him going to, and with as much hands-on that Jerry Jones is, he and Belichick are going to butt heads. And
Jerry said he would welcome him.
Yeah, Jerry said it could work.
Yeah,
I don't believe it. I think Jerry Jones.
I mean, come on.
I have my doubts, but you know,
I think Jerry Jones is too hands-on for Belichick and the way he does things. I really do.
You know, Jerry Jones likes to hire guys that can take him as far as they can take him.
Right.
And no further. For him to come out and say that he's all in on trying to win a Super Bowl, he's full of crap.
Yep, right back.
Okay, because the bottom line is that he made statements the other day were totally beyond asinine.
Yes.
Okay.
When he not made a statement that was totally beyond asinine.
Right. Every statement he's made
I'll
in the
get back to you on that one. No, but he really went even beyond this time around with the whole Mike McCarthy thing, and then when he came back about Dak and look, Dak's got him by the balls right now with that $59 million hanging over his head. Okay, Dak is the owner.
Greeny said the other day.
Dak is the owner of the Cowboys right now.
What'd you say, Ken?
Did you hear what Greeny said the other day? Greenberg.
What?
Said if he was Dak Prescott, he'd demand a trade.
That's
right
greedy.
Now.
Don't. You know what?
Hey, how about Dak Prescott?
Greeny says. Greeny
how about Dak Prescott in Atlanta? That's I've been hearing that.
Have you guys not seen the commercial where he's standing when he's with these two buddies and they're over a grill? You seen that commercial with Greeny?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
You got to ride out the
cold. It's 58 degrees. Yeah, but that wind is coming brisk off that lake. The lake is 30 miles away. Greenberg's an idiot.
But you don't think that he was cut out for that commercial? Come on.
Oh, he's the worst.
Look. One thing I like about Greenberg is that he doesn't project to be who he's not, and he's very self-deprecating.
Yeah, he does.
He will talk
wimp.
shit about himself before he talks shit about anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And to me, he knows his lane.
I got a quick question about.
But he knows his lane.
I got a quick question about Belichick.
Go ahead.
We know he's going to be in the Hall of Fame someday, pretty soon. Who's going to cut the sleeves off of his Hall of Fame jacket?
No, I think he's going to wear a hoodie.
Is he going to wear a hoodie into the Hall of Fame?
He's going to wear a gold hoodie.
Gold hoodie, huh?
Oh, God. Brett's trying to bring up more content. Let me see what he's doing.
Content about what? How old is it?
It's Adrian Beltre will have a Texas Rangers logo on his baseball Hall of Fame plaque.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, Jim Leyland will not have any team in memory.
We only got like 7 minutes. Fuck some baseball right now.
The next one is Jamar Chase to Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud. Anyone come play with you, brother? Come on. Nah.
Nope, not happening.
Doubt it.
But I tell you what, C.D. Lamb's mom wants him to go play with C.J. Stroud.
Oh, no doubt.
So his brother.
Hey, before we go, and if my niece and my brother's still on, and John, of course, this will probably exclude you, but how about them Tar Heels, baby? Yesterday, landed. I won't even say the name. It rhymes with puke.
93, 84, and it wasn't that close.
It wasn't that close.
Yeah, man, I stopped watching college basketball so long ago, I don't even know what the hell's going on.
I know.
I'm back over the days of Dean Smith and Roy Williams and all them guys, dude. Come on.
Mike Krzyzewski, the whole time.
Krzyzewski.
Yeah. College basketball isn't as great as it used to be. Although I'll tell you what's gaining speed is women's college basketball.
Yes.
With the top players playing it right now. I mean, they got the girl in UConn and the girl at Iowa. Those two are just out of their mind.
Are you about to?
And that girl from USC who just scored 51 points.
Are you about to pump up the WNBA too?
No.
Yeah, the young lady from USC dropped 51. The total team had 67.
Correct.
Oh, just a footnote. Just a footnote. I'm leaving for Arizona on Tuesday.
Where you going? What are you doing? Going to see your son?
Watch the Super Bowl with my kids.
Good.
And my niece and my grandkids and all that. So next week, whenever you decide what time the show is, I'll be doing it from over there.
We're probably going to do an early show next week, guys, before the Super Bowl. As you know, the pre-games is like 6 hours long.
8.5.
Not on my TV.
8.5.
8.5 hours. Oh my God.
Not on my TV.
Why don't we plan on doing a show like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon on that Sunday?
Eastern time?
Eastern time.
Yeah, that's like
Okay.
that's 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock your time, Elliot. Yes.
You'll be in my time zone, Elliot.
I mean, Wayne was able to come up here at 11
Wait,
o'clock.
where you at, Wayne? You're in the West, right?
Yeah, I'm in Cali.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm actually an hour ahead of you.
Oh, Arizona doesn't change their time, so they're mountain time.
They don't ever
noon
change
your
their
time, Elliot.
but they switch to mountain once the whole country makes the
Yeah.
change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now we're in the mountain zone.
So let's tentatively agree to do it 1 o'clock Eastern.
How about? Well, wait a minute. I thought Ken couldn't get back from church till 2.
No, I can't do 1 o'clock Eastern time. I mean,
2 o'clock, Ken?
2 o'clock, yeah.
That's
All
noon
right.
for me. I'm
4
good
o'clock
with
my
that.
time.
Let's just plan on 2 o'clock next Sunday for the show to preview the Super Bowl, and you and Elliot, Wayne, can just plug the Niners all hour long if you want to. It's all good. So
I might not be able to talk by then.
We need to finish
What's that?
before the puppy
I
bowl
might not be able to
starts.
talk by then. I might be so stressed out during the week.
If we don't see Wayne, we'll know he's in the shower. I mean,
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I'll be doing the show from.
You know what? You know what? I'm not stressing out. You know why I'm not stressing out? Because most of the NFL world thinks Brock Purdy sucks, and I think he's going to turn around and show them.
You know what?
That's what I have that feeling. I do have that feeling. I just want him to shut up Cam Newton. That's
And for the record, guys, Brock Purdy is not the 10th best player on that team.
no.
No, he's the
Dude, he
11th.
finished top 5 in every fucking category.
He's the top 5 on that team, guys.
In every freaking quarter, in every important statistic, he
I would
finished
say
in
he's
the top
number
5.
3 or number 4.
For you to call the guy a game manager, idiot. Cam Newton's an idiot.
Well, Cam Newton's been an idiot for like the last 5 or 6
game manager,
years.
but this
so
game's
it's all
better than yours is.
Cam Newton's still pissed off that he lost the Super Bowl to Peyton Manning. Okay, you saw the
Well,
interview.
that's what happens when you give up on a fumble play. You back up.
Mhm.
Well, that's what happens when you dress like a freak. Okay, he's a freak.
I don't think the dress code had anything to do with it, but hey.
Haircut, dude.
He's a freak. He's an overglorified running back. I agree with Warren Sapp.
That I will agree with.
I still think he looks like he stuck his finger in a wall socket.
Yeah. Fellas,
You know what? You know why I'm not stressing? Because most
You
of
know
the-
they're going to win, don't you?
most people, no, I'm not stressing because mostly everybody is already crowning Kansas City as the champs.
I'm not worried about the offense. It's the defense and their
Aren't
lack
they-
of effort in the last 2 games that scared
Aren't
the
they
hell out of me.
underdogs in this game, Elliot?
Huh?
Or is
No,
the
we're
Kansas
not.
City
We're
underdog?
favored by, I think, 1.5 points.
1.5
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah. But even with that, people are already crowning Kansas City. Me, I'd like to see Taylor, Travis, and all of them tuck their tail and get the hell out of town while we carry that Lombardi trophy.
Yep. Yeah, it's been more than 20 years since the Niners have won a game. So actually,
1994.
30 years. Excuse me, 30 years
1994.
was the last time the Niners won.
I'm rooting for you guys, man.
Yeah, I am too. I am too. The
I've had
first
enough
team,
of Kansas City.
the first team to win since Steve Young and Joe Montana were quarterbacks. Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, Steve Young won the last one against the
Yes.
Chargers in '94. That's when
God,
he
that was a
like
blowout.
6
Jesus
touchdowns. They threw a 60-yarder like in the first play of the game to who was the receiver at the time?
John Taylor.
John Taylor, yeah.
And from
It was
then
church
on, it
after
was
that.
like I still remember when they took the monkey off of Steve Young's back.
Yes, I remember that too.
And I mean, we've been to the Super Bowl twice. We came close on both occasions.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We were in both games. thanks to a blackout in New Orleans.
Yep.
And and then again, I'll reiterate this point. If we get into the fourth quarter and win the lead, somebody please throw Kyle Shanahan in a locker, lock it up. Okay, we'll let him out later on. We'll let him out for the trophy celebration.
There you go. There you go. All right, it's 8:30. We're going to get out of here, gentlemen. As a post note regarding this show, I wanted to just say I love all four of you guys. I really do. Okay?
Good.
And John, somewhere down the road, you might see me on your Friday show. You never know.
Hey, congratulations, John, on your new adventure.
Correct.
Yeah, congratulations.
I hope it goes better than you wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope it goes better than the company I just worked for that just filed bankruptcy 2 weeks ago. So, you know.
Nice.
Well, that sounds like a low bar to me.
Karma wins again.
All right. We're going to get out of here. Sports Nerds, we'll be back next Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time to preview Super Bowl 58 between the Niners and the Chiefs. On behalf of my co-host, Mr. Ken Koslow, Big E DeBaba, Elliot Lamba, Mr. Wayne Lynch, and, of course, my good friend John G. Olson, we are out, and I hope you have a great